for like 5-6 months, I was working 75 plus hours a week, not making any money. We got into the program. I'm now a 6-figure dropshipper. That whole crazy digital product, which was if I didn't make it that month, I was going to have to stop, go get a job. The only reason I made it, bro, is
just walk me through the whole journey.
I was working as like a bartender before I got into all this, right? And I was trying to figure out like a way to make money apart from that. I'd come close to making my first 100K as like trading, like stocks and all that kind of stuff. But when the markets tanked, it was like I don't like this. Like I can't kind of like control like how my money's being made. So I need to find something more like controllable. And so my friend brought to my attention dropshipping. And I was like, what is that? He kind of told me about it. And then I like watched a YouTube video about it and I like sat there and listened to it. And I was like, oh, okay, like this makes like complete sense. And I was like, okay, cool, let's do it. And then in October, I lost my job. I got taken advantage of. We were working for like 5 months trying to figure out how to like reinvent the wheel. My friend had seen Mikey and he brought Mikey to my attention. So we were kind of like tracking Mikey as like we were going along to like see how we were doing. And at the end of those 5 months, you know, Mikey's up here. He's like, hey guys, just made 60K. And we were like about to go broke. I told my buddy, I was like, dude, we have to change something because we're going to be stuck here forever. So I'd watch some of your videos and stuff like that. And like, you know, I seen that you were legit. We got into the program. Then like that whole crazy digital product, which was a mod. It was a mod for the game Arma 3, which if anybody wants to go see it, it's called RayFX and it's still up.
Basically, what you had was 100% profit margin business where you were running organic like videos to a mod which doesn't have any product cost. It's basically like an in-game thing for gamers. Like, yeah, you made how much, like 30K, something like that, but with pure profit, like everything.
Probably to like, yeah, up to now, it's like 30K pure profit. That was going pretty well for like a few months. We did turbo drifters, which was like when those RC cars were like super popular and stuff. Both of us were able to go viral with it. We didn't really make too much money for that. He kind of like tells me that like he and like some of my friends and stuff that I still had at the time, we're going to like go to like California to like go to like a festival or whatever. I FOMO'd in because I was like, oh, you know, I've been working this entire year. I haven't talked to anybody, haven't done anything. Like I want to go too. I don't want to be left out. So I booked that flight and we went and, you know, we had a good time. But like while I was there, you know, I just kind of like observed all their behavior and stuff like that and the behavior around me in the environment. And I was just like, nah, I can't keep doing this. I actually have to leave. Like I can't hang out with you guys anymore. It's not good for me. Yeah, that was it. Like that was a 12-year like friendship or whatever that I had to like let go and stuff. So then now I was really alone. And this was like, I think in November of last year. Nothing was really working. I had like another product that popped off. It only did like 5K. So like maybe for like the entire year up to that point, I maybe made like 25K. So I met up with Jacob for a call when I was part of like the whole beginner program thing. And I was like, oh, Jacob, like this is kind of what's going on. Nothing's really working. Like, what do you think I should do? And Jacob was like, bro, like, I think I've only spoken to you like one other time in your entire time being in the program. Like you need to start like showing up and like, you know, scheduling calls with me more often. I was like, yeah, you know, why haven't I been taking this as seriously as like I would take university? Just like, let me do that here. Why am I not doing that? So I started showing up to the meetings with Jacob with like a Google Doc sheet and I would show him, you know, like,
can I tell you something about that? Can I tell you? He was telling me about you as you were coming up and he was constantly telling me like, dude, this guy's legit. He's like crazy. He's actually like going hard right now. Every person you ever had a call with was telling me about you. And I had you in mind. And I was like, this guy, like, I didn't have you in mind at all as somebody who's going hard whatsoever. I just thought you got lucky with the fucking digital thing because I remembered how you were back then. When I saw the sheets, everybody was sending me your fucking sheets because you're like prepared and everything. And I was like, wait, what? Did he change? What happened here?
I have a reason for why like I'm doing all this, which I don't really share. It's not a choice for me. Like I can't quit. I have a much stronger motivation than just like, oh, I want to get rich or like, oh, you know, I want to get a bunch of girls and stuff like that. Like, if that was my motivation, yeah, I probably wouldn't be here.
Was that motivation added newly or did you have that from the start?
That was from the start.
Something clicked. You know? Something clicked in the middle. Like, I don't know what happened. So something clicked in your head.
I think I just like, I knew in my head, like the steps I needed to make probably by that time, but I just hadn't made them yet. Like I knew I was probably going to have to say goodbye to like my friends and stuff, but I didn't want to, you know?
Yeah.
Because like, I didn't want to be alone and stuff like that.
If you just do drop shipping, you can approach it literally in like a million different ways. Like most people see it as a thing they do like on the side, and hopefully it's going to work. If no, no big deal. I'm going to just keep doing my job, and that's it. And I remember, like, for me, there was no other option whatsoever. When I started dropshipping, I was like, okay, I'm a dropshipper now. That's like all I do. I don't have a life. I just do this forever until it works. And then maybe let's see how my life's going to turn out. That's what's probably like 90% of people who actually make it work are thinking. If you like watching this, don't think that in your head. There's a very high chance you're not going to make it work. Very, very high chance, because this should be the number one priority in your fucking life over everything until it works. By the way, I have to give you like a bunch of compliments about like all your content, and like I genuinely saw like a lot of things from your videos, and it was like you're one of the top creators like from the entire program. Like you're actually like really good at video making, and also like your YouTube account is just insane, you know.
I appreciate it. Yeah, and like I came to Jacob because we would do like a monthly review. And like, prepared the sheet. I showed him like all the products I've been testing, how much money I made from each one. And I was like, Jacob, like, what am I doing wrong? And Jacob was like, honestly, bro, I think you're just unlucky. And I was like, dude, okay. Well, I was like, okay, well, how can I get lucky? And so he explained to me the whole like dice theory. And he's like, dropshipping is it's like rolling a dice. There's sides to it. Maybe every time you roll the one, you hit the million views or whatever, and you make bank or whatever. For some people who have less skill, there could be like 100 sides on that die. So every time you roll, your chance of rolling a 1 is less. But the better you get and the more experienced you get, the less sides of the die there are. So the more times you roll it, the more likely your probability is to roll a 1. And he's like, but just because you have lower probability of or a higher probability of rolling a 1 doesn't mean you're going to roll a 1. You could have like a 1 in 7 chance and roll fucking nothing but 7s the entire time, And he was like, honestly, dude, your content's getting pretty good. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep going. And he's like, this is what happens. Like, everybody's making no money. You're not making any money. You're working super hard. And then just all of a sudden the stars align. Everything pops and everything works all at once. And he's like, you're getting close to that. Just keep going. Just focused on that. Just, let me keep testing products and stuff like that. At the same time, I started working a little bit with Bond. I started talking to Sean about working too. Because at that point, I was trying to figure out, how can I make some quick money stop, because I was running out of money. One day I was searching on AliExpress for props because I was running the fidget guns. I was looking for props for the fidget guns. I saw this product and I was like, oh, this looks really cool. This will be a great prop for me to show in the video, and that might help it go viral or whatever. And so one day, I show up to a meeting. I think it was maybe in April or something, and I show up and I'm having Jacob go through the whole sheet. And so once he goes through the sheet, there's a little line I made where it's props for the fidget guns, and then all the products below it. And he's like, what is this? I was like, oh, these are some props I'm thinking for the video. And he starts looking through them, and he sees one of the products that turned out to be the big winner. He was like, oh, dude, run this. And I was like, oh, you think so? I was thinking about, I was going to put in the videos, but as a prop. He's like, no, run this. This is good. Run it. Try it. You had said this, I think, in our first meeting, and maybe you've even said it in your videos. I remember I was like, okay, well, the first time I was successful, I was doing something that I had an interest in. And I was like, well, I personally like guns. I personally like military stuff. I was like, so let me do that kind of stuff. Anyhow, so I ordered the product and I started putting it in the videos, and it got 22K views on YouTube. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. I didn't really do anything in that video, but it kind of worked. I started experimenting with new styles of content, and the first drafts of it were rough. Everybody told me this is not good. Bond helped me a lot too. He told me no, dude, you have a problem with watch time. There's no reason to keep watching this video. And that was a huge oh, that's right. So I started making these really different YouTube style videos that I was personally watching because I had seen them and stuff like that. And I was also mixing some styles that I'd done when I did the mod thing, because when I did that, I didn't have anybody to copy. It wasn't even really a drop shipping product. So I had to figure out how to do it. Because if you're just posting the product over and over and over and over and over and over again, even your fans and your subscribers, they're going to be okay, cool. But I've seen this already. It's the same product, same story, same ad. There's nothing new to it. I don't want to watch anymore. So views go down. But when it's more than just the product, it's the niche, right? featuring your product, then it's like, dude, it's endless.
The videos are genuinely insane. Not only are they like good generally, but they actually look like a YouTuber just made a really good YouTube video and he happens to use this product, which is really cool. That's how the videos feel. And it's not at all like a regular dropshipping video. There's no YouTube burner method, which makes YouTube winners much more powerful. Like everybody who's doing product research, they're doing it on Instagram, doing it on TikTok, they're not finding you. And that's why also like on scale, YouTube is insane. You have a massive YouTube channel, right? And like how many subscribers in the roundabouts?
I think in like a month or two, I crossed 100,000 subscribers. I have 3 different channels. One of them has 130K. The other one has like 110K. And the other one is pushing 100K. When that all popped off, like I was making like a good amount of money. And then for me personally, dude, like when I got the YouTube play button, dude, I was so happy, bro. I was experimenting with those styles. I started going viral. Like I got like a video that did like 1 million or like 3 million views. And this all came to a head, bro. Like that month, I maybe had like $2,000 left. I got served a bill for like $3K for my car insurance. If I didn't make it that month, I was going to have to stop, go get a job, and then come back, you know, because I wasn't quitting. The only reason I made it, bro, is because I didn't quit. But if I didn't have you guys, I probably wouldn't have made it either. Everything kind of came to a head. And like finally, dude, like I had some videos go viral and like money started coming in, you know, 5K, 10K or whatever. So that was working. Finally, money's coming in. I'm able to like pay off a lot of like debts and stuff like that. I have something that's working.
Let's walk through the whole thing on Shopify as well. Maybe you can share your screen and we can go through the numbers.
Right in April is when things kind of like took off a bit, which is a little bit further back. But you can kind of like see like 500 a day, 600 a day, 200 a day. So I was starting to make like some money and stuff. I was working on this video that was like my own personal style, right? And basically, like I said, like you take content that's relevant to the niche and then you plug your product in at the end. And so I had gone viral with this video once and it did like 3 million views. So I was trying to do it again and like get another multi-million view video. Like I was trying to do maybe like 5 million views or something like that. And so I was doing the video like every week, you know, I like put it into like the rotation because I film my videos in a batch. And so I put it in the rotation, like I'd have like 6 other videos to do. And so I did this video again. This time it blew up big time. It did like 30 million views real quick. It had a call to action in the video too. Because the first time I did it, I forgot to do that. It hurt the sales. Like even though I did a few million views, I didn't do that many sales. So I made a modified version of it where there was a CTA in there and it was perfect and it worked. And that's when it did like, dude, it was crazy. Like 8K in one day, bro.
How did this all feel? Like when it blew up, like went mega viral, how did you feel?
I was kind of like, dude, finally, like I was like, there, like, this is exactly how they said it would happen. Like it's happening right now. I went to the meeting with Jacob. I was like, Jacob, look at this. Oh my God. And Jacob was like, see, dude, see, I told you, like, it's all like stars align and just like everything pops at the exact same time. Yeah, dude, when it crossed 100K, I think I like wrote a message in like the group chat. I was like, you know, I posted the screenshot, whatever. I was like, oh, thank you guys, blah, blah, blah. And then I met up with Jacob and Jacob's like, all right, dude, like now your goal needs to be, you need to make 100K in profit. Crossed 100K, like do 100K in profit. And this store has about like 55-60% margin on it. I've kept going with it. After that viral video, you know, I've been working on doing other ones and like I've been able to go, I haven't done like a 30 million view video, but like I've done like some multi-million viewed videos and stuff like that. And like personally, like having a lot of fun with it too. Cause like I said, like I'm into the product, I'm into the niche. I do have fun making the videos too. Like I do approach it like if I'm a YouTuber, you know, so it's fun for me personally. And it's just kept going and going and going and going and going. And like pretty recently, I think like, yeah, like this month or like last month, it crossed 200K. That's 100K in the bank. And dude, like, my goal for this year was to make 100K. And I thought it was going to take me kind of like the whole year. Like I put it in my Google Calendar, like the little task thing. I put like, okay, Q1, you need 25K, Q2. And now like in the middle of like Q2 and getting into Q3, it's like, don't worry, it's all done. I'm like, dang, like what? I was like, wow, like I hit the goal early. Like, this is weird. Like, what do I do now? So yeah, dude, like I talked to Jacob about it and like, now we're kind of like working on like, okay, well, you need to get a team. You need to kind of like scale this more. You need to find another winner and stuff like that and keep going.
I'm going to tell you right now, The thing with the stars aligning, I can't agree more to that, under the condition that you actually put in the work. This might sound to a lot of people like they're just going to wait for the stars to align, but this is not how it works. Like, you just need to understand what William is saying here. For everybody watching, the stars are not going to fucking align to you ever if you don't put in the work. And there's a very big difference in between the stars just aligning and I put in the work for a fucking year and then the stars align. At some point, the stars will align, and the more work you put in, the earlier the stars will align. And maybe you get unlucky, and this is exactly what happened to you. And it's the best thing that could have ever happened to you by far, because when the stars align too soon, you feel like you can chill. You basically made it before you deserved to make it. You officially deserved to make it. There's a lot of people who made it, but they didn't deserve it at all. That's how I felt about you when you made it work with digital. It was nothing insane, and that's why it's not like that big of a deal. It's 30K, it's not 200. But obviously, still, you made some profits. That's where a lot of people start just chilling, and they're like, okay, I've tested this one product, it worked well. I don't have to test the next one because this one is still kind of working. And whenever this one is going to go down, I'm just going to test the next one. The next one is going to work no matter what because I know how to do this shit, right? And then they think every product is a winner, but that's not how it works. Real quick, you're gonna be grounded very, very fast, and you're gonna be like, fuck, I thought I already made it. And then the worst feeling ever you have is realizing you just got lucky. You feel so bad about yourself, So I think what happened to you, even though seemed like very, very annoying, it's actually a blessing. It's by far the best thing which could have ever happened, because not only you prove to yourself that you're gonna make it work, you can tell yourself now, all right, I'm going to make it out of the next situation, even if I go back to zero for whatever reason. If something goes wrong right now, you don't have any money, you can be very, very confident in yourself that you're still going to make it work. And that's a feeling which you cannot replace with anything. I'm also very, very grateful. After I made it, I lost it all again. I had a massive up, and I felt like I'm on top of the world. And then I lost everything. It was literally at zero, and then had to pay a bunch of taxes on top of money I didn't even have. So it's like I was losing money, going in the minus, and had to make it out of there. And when I did, I knew, all right, I don't have to be stressed ever again. Even though the stress I have does not compare to the stress I had back then, because I didn't prove anything to me yet. And that's just something which gives you massive confidence in your life. Yeah, in general, did your life change now? You spend money, you still cautious with the money? How are you going with just generally having over 100K in the bank?
Still super careful, because I went to zero twice within the last year and a half, dude. So I don't want to feel that feeling anytime again soon. I'm trying to be super cautious. I've spoken to Sasha and stuff, and I'm like, what's your advice to creators? He's low risk, everything, dude. I mean, I've spent some money. I made a small investment of 3K into personal branding, observing Mikey and stuff like that. Dude, that's a huge asset, No, dude, apart from that, a lot of the money I spend at the moment is just on props for videos, buying cool things for the videos. And now I can do it, right? Now it's epic, because now I have the money and it works. So I know if I buy a prop, it's going to be, it's going to be profitable in the end. So now the videos can get even better, stacking cash, trying to be careful, that kind of stuff.
I honestly can tell you, you should make a rule to yourself that 10 to 20, let's say 15%, should be spent. It's not can I spend it? It should be. You should be spending at least 10% of net profit that you make per month. When you have 100K and you don't spend money, you don't feel like you need more. And it's going to stop you from making more. And from what I saw is you need extra motivations all the time. And it just I would always set aside around 10 to 15% of your money to do that, Did you have any specific thing in mind, which you kind of want to buy, but you didn't pull the trigger on it?
Oh, dude, it's probably super lame, but when I finally made some money, I bought Modern Warfare from 2019. It was dude, I wanted to play that game so bad years ago, but I couldn't run it on my computer at first. And then I've always been kind of it's not that important. Don't spend your money on that yet or whatever. And finally I was oh, I have 100 grand. I can buy that $30 game.
It's not a problem.
I can play it if I want. So, I mean, I bought that. Part of like my goal and stuff like that has also been like moving and stuff. Cause like I live out in Miami, but like I live in like the Everglades. Like I live out in the middle of nowhere. Like it's a cursing and a blessing. Like there's nobody out here, so I'm alone, but there's nobody out here, so I'm alone. I have no distractions, you know? It's easier to stay focused. I'm kind of like also looking at potentially moving out at some point. And my main focus is this, like I'm spending 80+% of my time still focusing on business, but then like maybe like 10% I focus on like personal branding, and then like 8% is like eating, sleeping, chilling, or something like that, you know?
To conclude, like your whole experience generally with us, and especially now also being in the advanced program, like what would you say were the biggest learnings? How was it overall for you?
Dude, I learned a lot about content creation from like everybody. Even still today, like I still meet with the guys to talk about my content. Even though everyone thinks like, you know, dude, you're the best in the program, like your content's amazing or whatever, I still want to meet because it's so much more helpful to talk to somebody about the idea. Because there are still things that like I don't understand, you know, or like people can see things about the video that maybe I don't see. Like I did a call with Brian recently, and Brian was like watching the video. He's like, this is good, but like, you know, you could change this, you could change that. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. I could change that. Or I met with Sasha, and Sasha's like, what are the analytics? What do the analytics say? You know, like what's the data? What's the data? And then I'm like, yeah, you know, I could be looking at the data, you know, talking with the guys about content. I mean, that's the machine that makes the money, you know? And, you know, everybody like, dude, have you met with your brother, and like your brother's helping me with like the website and stuff. And your brother,
How's that?
He's insane, dude. He's a funny guy. I like your brother. He's cool. He's super just like, yeah, we could do this, this, and that, and then this, and this, and this. And I'm like, oh, dude, like you're like way more advanced than me at this. Like you're thinking, and he'll tell me, he's like, this is what I'm testing. And like this works. You need to A/B split test this. And I'm like, yeah, why am I not split testing more stuff? You know, like things like that, you know, like when you talk to people that are like doing their own thing and they're focused in their zone, it's like you can talk to them and they'll remind you like, oh yeah, like I could be better here, or I could be better there, you know? I also have to personally thank you, right? Like I had said in the beginning, like I've had so many people like take advantage of me, like the university system, these franchises, these small businesses or whatever. Like the other day I went to Miami for like the first time in like a year or like a year and a half, right? I haven't gone out at all. And I go out and I almost feel like I'm like one of the few sane people amongst like a bunch of like crazy people, you know, like everybody's still like in that zone. They're still going through the 9 to 5 and stuff like that. And like, then they see me and like people kind of like, they're like, what's up with that guy? Why is he so happy? Yeah. I have to personally thank you because like, dude, you know, thank you for the work that you did with this program, dude. Like, this is so legit. Like you do have good people here. Everybody that I've worked with, dude, Jacob, Tristan, Bond, Sasha, Pepe, Patrick, like all those guys. And there's a lot more guys too, you know, like everybody's been super great and everybody was like legitimately trying to help me, you know? I have to thank you for that because I've been trying very hard, like my whole life. What you've given me here is a skill that is so invaluable. You've basically given me the key to do what I want.
I appreciate of like you putting in the trust, like still, even though like you had so many bad experiences with everybody, that you actually like are capable of trusting people. And even though obviously you didn't know me at all, like you saw some YouTube videos, you actually put in the trust and made it work, and also followed all the advice. You know, it's not only that like you said it before, like why people were telling me about you was not because you had a little dog which you showed them, even though that's like cool and impressive. And it was because you put in the thing, like you put in the work they tell you. Like I was literally talking to my brother recently, and he was like, oh, I told him to change like 5 things about the average order value. And the next day he's like, oh, thank you. It worked so well. Yeah, I did it. And like, you don't know how rare that is. Like where you tell a person, hey, do these 5 things, and they just do it. That's not very common. Maybe like for you at this point, you're like, well, of course, like he just told me to do it. Why would I not do that? But like for a lot of people, that's not how it works at all. And this is like the students, like we all appreciate working with the most, you know, if you just like shut off your brain a little bit and just follow the exact advice everybody's giving you, that's where all the money is. And exactly what you said, we have so many different people, like different brains who can analyze your business from a different perspective. And that's where the value is. Exactly what you said. We have a person who's the best, like probably in the world, at like short form content, which is Jacob. We have a bunch of people who are like Sasha, like insane at numbers and analytics and all these things. My brother, crazy at average order value. Tristan, who's so good at like making the videos and filming and all these things. And there's just like so many different like experts and like sub-experts in the whole field of dropshipping that it makes it almost impossible to not become really good if you listen. And that's why the success like of the program is just so high, because if we have a person who's actually trying, like you or Mikey, like somebody's like who's truly trying to make it work, they will make it work. And if there's other people who half-ass it, there's going to be still some success, but it's just like not 100% at all. And it's just like 50-50. Maybe you're going to make it work. Maybe you're not going to make it work. And then there's some other people who are just actively not trying, and they're for sure not going to make it work. The whole thing is a 50-50. 50% of everything is done by us, and we tell you what to do. I can give you the best advice in the world. You have to execute it though. And sometimes the device is very annoying to execute. Somebody can tell you, all right, what you have to do is you have to drive 3 hours to the woods and film a video there, and it has to look like this, and it has to be during the night. And then you're like, I don't want to drive 3 hours and be at night in the woods. I don't want to do that shit. All right, cool. Then don't do it. But the point is, the advice has to be given, and coming up with ideas very, very tough. But we know exactly how to do that. But you have to execute, and you have to do the thing, even though it might be sometimes be difficult. That's just like a word for people who don't understand like what could happen when they join the program. This is what you should be expecting. Annoying advice. Like we tell you what to do, but the thing you have to do is fucking difficult. That's all I have to say. For everybody watching this right now, you can click the link below, sign up for a call, and we're going to see if it's a good fit. And for you, update case study at 1 million. We're going to clip this.
For sure.
We're going to make that work. All right.
For sure, bro.